Undoubtedly, coding can do incredible things for us. Not only does code provide the useful software and websites that we use every day, but it also has applications in art and animation. Hi, my name is Amber Lee, and this is Cryptobox Tutorials, a coding tutorial for artists, by an artist. I love the internet. It's full of free stuff. Free software, free entertainment, free music. You know what's not free? College loans. And software subscriptions. Finding jobs in this day and age is very difficult. The job market is very demanding, even for engineers and STEM nerds. Therefore, imagine how difficult it is to be an artist in this market unless you have a lot of financial support and connections, especially with the additional burden of student loans hanging over your head. The Maryland Institute College of Art is a well-known private art college in Baltimore. According to their website, for full-time students, MICA charges around $46,870 for tuition per year. That means $187,480, or nearly $200,000 in debt after you graduate. And this is not including the housing, which is an additional $5,005 per semester. Times 8, that totals up to $40,000 in debt once you graduate. Not including the additional percentage of interest that comes with taking loans, the price already totals to $227,520 to attend a private art school. Ugh. God forbid that you be poor and want to do something you enjoy. Sadly, it doesn't end there. While many students attend university, they are often given a free student license to reputable creative software such as Autodesk Mudbox, Adobe Illustrator, and Photoshop, just to name a few. Students are often exclusively taught how to use these softwares, so if their future creative career depends on it, then after university or whenever the software expires, they are going to have to shift to a professional license, which can pose a major burden on the wallet. Software like Autodesk Maya can cost $1,505 per year, and this isn't just a one-time payment. Your license is going to expire, and you have to pay that $1,505 over and over if you intend to keep using the software the next year. If you're an artist who's working to support your hobbies while keeping food on the table, these payments add up. Many graphics designers and professionals who are stable in the corporate world may not have this issue because large universities, or large companies in general, usually buy these licenses in bulk to distribute to students or employees without any cost on the individual. But for independent artists, there are far better creative alternatives out there thanks to open source developers. And because you have honed your skills with the software your university might have distributed to you, the learning curve is going to be a lot shorter for the free software thanks to conventions. If you have already mastered one creative software, you can master other creative software of that type easily. When I was first learning coding, there was a rule of thumb about user behavior. 90% of users will only use 10% of the features available in the average software. An example of this may be Microsoft Word, which you might have purchased as part of the package of MS Office. Even though Microsoft Word may be useful for working on your essays and formatting tables, there are also hundreds of features such as creating custom envelope labels and creating your own macros that you are most likely not going to use. Your aunts and uncles, your parents, and your grandparents are most likely paying $149 for Office 365, where they will only utilize around 10% of the features. So before rushing in to purchase any piece of software, keep in mind many of the features that you are going to utilize and whether there is a cloud alternative or freeware that will provide you with just the features that you need. For most of my college years, I just used Google Docs, Google Sheets, and Google Slides, which is completely on the cloud. They were a pretty useful alternative to Microsoft Office. My classmates thought I was nuts, but I didn't feel like wasting precious hard drive space for programs I barely use. We have now covered the first axis of software, which ranges from free to expensive. And I have discussed that it's recommended that you consider free alternatives first. Regardless, do not use keygens or illegally obtained paid software for free. Not only are you depriving programmers of money and time for their hard-earned work, this will also cost you in other ways. It's also just flat out unnecessary in most cases with the number of dependable free software that is already out on the internet. In addition to the axis of free versus expensive, there's another axis I want to cover before we get into coding. It's necessary that we distinguish the difference between declarative solutions to problems versus programmatical solutions. Declarative solutions are solutions to a problem that doesn't require any programming. Let's say that you have a problem that you need to solve with just putting two video clips together in a sequence. You wouldn't need to program or code at all for this. There is already software on the market that allows you to drag and drop video clips. This is an example of a declarative solution to a problem. Often, declarative solutions are for problems that are common and there is high demand for a solution. Many people like to use green screens so they can change the background of wherever they are. So this is a common feature that you can find in software as a declarative solution, because this isn't a feature that you have to code once more completely from scratch. However, as requirements become more and more specific, the less it shifts from software solutions to more technical solutions, because code allows you to be more specific about your needs. Picking a coding solution is analogous to you perhaps buying a car, but realizing it's not quite what you wanted. So you scrap that car completely because you prefer to completely build your own. The only difference is that in our case, it's mostly free as long as you keep your choices to the left side of the axis. The reason why I recommend considering declarative solutions first is that it's quicker to use something someone has already built. If you're coding for fun, that's one thing, but for many people, time is money. When you code features yourself, you have to troubleshoot and diagnose your own bugs and issues, whereas when it comes to software that has already been built, there's most likely a community of people that know how to use this software and can offer advice and tips. Software usually gets updated regularly, which means there will be fewer bugs than if an individual programmer were to implement the same feature. I sometimes code my solutions if my problem is very specific, but there are many times when video editors like OpenShot video editors can do the trick. OpenShot is a powerful open source software that offers features such as animating, zoom in, zoom out, and chroma key if you intend to use a green screen for certain videos. What is open source software, you ask? Open source software is basically the logical equivalent of a car that you bought that isn't quite how you wanted it. And therefore, you can tweak the car to your liking and push your changes to the people maintaining the car. Your code may be reviewed by developers, and they might agree to accept the changes that you have made to the car and share it with everyone else. Or you can keep the new customized car to yourself, or branch it off as its own version with other features. It's almost like a software where the community can contribute changes, even though the main software is technically maintained by only a few people. Regardless, that's all you will need to know about open source software. Today, I'm going to introduce you to one of my favorite programs that I use for coding. Processing 3 is a flexible open source software sketchbook that is primarily used by visual artists who want to mix their artistic vision with technology. It's free to download and open source. You can work in both 2D and 3D space. And there is a ton of detailed documentation on how to use the large number of libraries in the core software. This is going to be the primary environment where most of the tutorial series will take place. Steps on how to download. Step 1. Open your favorite search engine on your favorite browser. Step 2. Type in Processing 3 into the search engine. Step 3. Click on the website with the title processing.org. Step 4. Select Download Processing on the home website for processing.org. Step 5. Click on any of the download links associated with your operating system, and the download should start. Step 6. Wait patiently. Step 7. Once the zip file finally downloads, extract it in the location that you prefer. Step 8. After the zip file has been extracted, open the extracted folder, click the processing folder that's inside of it, and you will see the processing.exe file. Click on that, and now you can start coding. It looks like we're all ready to go and start coding. Stay tuned for the next video in Cryptobox tutorials. See you later. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel and be sure to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and DeviantArt. I also have a website at www.cryptoboxcomics.com. Check out these links in the description below.